exhaustion right here. This was exhaustion to push up for 8 a.m. because we have volume at that time all the time.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you think about it too, right? So the idea here is, okay, if we're going to reject like 1844, why would we reject 1844 at like 7 a.m.? Why wouldn't we wait for the North American session to open, have them drive the market up, and then reject around there, right? So the push that we got at 7:30 was a fake out because essentially that is probably the move later on today, if anything. But it's like more than anything else, it's a liquidity grab because if you have to think logically, right? If price is meant to go down, why is it going down before the North American open? So when it's going down like that, you know that it's going to drive up probably at 8 a.m. Because if it was meant to go down, then most likely it would have driven up at 7:30 to drive further down, right? Because we had that rejection at 1842. Like the other day, or like I think about 4 hours ago, we had a huge rejection 1842. We dropped back down to 1837. So that's basically sort of the top. But for us to then have the North American session, we need to have that top again so that it drives further down. So the market's moving in that wave. But overall pattern is still bullish because if we look at the weekly, we've already dipped a bit. But that dip may be just the initial pulse down, and now we need that drop again to grab more orders, right? Because Monday's a little choppy too. So a lot of times what will happen is Monday will show the move for the rest of the week, but it'll fake everybody out and drive further up.
Yeah, I know. And now just by looking at this, it also makes sense. Like if you rejected, but this broke down, but even this rejected, then it made sense to go up.
That's right. Yeah. So if you look at your 15-minute candle, then what you would do is you would play that range, right? So you would say to yourself, okay, if that 15-minute candle rejects down over here, this 5-minute candle will start to drive, and then this will be your 8 o'clock move, and then you can say, okay, I'm going to close right about here, and then essentially you have maybe like half a pip of or maybe 5 pip stop, and then you have basically a 20 pip gain at that point. It's a really tight range, but you know that because your 15-minute candle finished with that bullish tail, so you know 8 a.m. we're going to get that push up. Even if it starts to drive down, say at 8:30, you know you can at least grab 8 a.m. to drive up, right? And you're essentially driving into that zone, so you're catching the impulse move up to push up to the top of that range. And then now, technically speaking, because it keeps rejecting that 1845 area, this candle that's pushing up right now at 1839, the safer opportunity may be a sell below, like you said, 1835, driving back down to 1832, right? You sort of don't want to drive up. If you're a new trader, you don't want to drive up into that zone if you don't have clear confirmation, because this 15-minute candle was, that's a very, very tough confirmation because you have to know exactly where you're getting out. Because if you don't, you're going to get stuck, and that's where you lose, right? So you're basically playing this range right here. This is the range that you're playing, and you're saying to yourself, okay, at this point, as long as we stay above here, I know my next candle is going to push up, probably grab liquidity here, but then my overall move, chances are, is going to be breaking down, and then you have your clean move down over here. This is a quick 5-minute trade. You're not in it for more than that, and you have to recognize what is happening and why it's happening. New traders will get destroyed here because what they'll do is they'll take a buy and they'll say, well, I got in over here because I got in late. Now I have to get in above over here. Like all this math will start happening, and then you'll realize like you're not going to be able to get past that. There's opportunity to go further up to 1842, but your initial move here, 20 pips, no drawdown. That's your goal because this was your liquidity grab to drive for the next 15-minute candle.